Hi everybody, this is Ben. This is going to be my reflective screencast for my Student Affairs Technology Solutions website. Um, so this is the site, and it's not really much of it from obviously the final product here that I went over last week. So for now, I just kind of wanted to reflect on how I think everything went. If I go back and look at my proposal, I'll actually bring that in. Looking at my proposal, obviously my goal was to provide the professional development service to my fellow colleagues in higher education, specifically those kind of in the technology field. So as you can see, obviously I have the whole website area, but one of the main things that I really wanted to do was get the podcast out there. This was probably the hardest part. Putting the WordPress together was fairly straightforward and easy. I've used WordPress before. Adding it's like the RSS feeds was a little bit new for me, but it really wasn't that hard to figure everything out. The podcast was something that was totally new, so that was something I really wanted to focus on. So the great thing is that I have 2 episodes completely done, completely posted. I think they sound great, considering I've never actually done it before. I had really no idea what I was doing. And I actually have a third one that's in the pipeline that I'm hoping to get out there in the next week or so. I had a couple hiccups with that one since it was actually a Skype interview with somebody, and it turns out recording a Skype interview is not terribly easy. But hopefully that'll turn out great. I'm pretty proud of what I've been able to do. Um, I think I definitely, you know, achieve the purpose of providing kind of a professional development page, information to put out there. I would like to see a bit more as time permits, especially in the staff resource area. It's just not something I was really able to focus too heavily on, unfortunately, since I spent so much time figuring out the podcast stuff. I have a little bit that I was able to write, but I ran into some technical glitches when I was trying to make some screencasts for this area on my work computer. So that's something I'm hoping to rectify eventually. The nice thing is, once I add those, I can kind of add them and just leave them there. It's not something I'll necessarily have to update. It should just be stuff that I can kind of leave on the page. So that's something I really hope to be able to do in the future, and something I would really like to see. Um, so yeah, the other thing, the software solutions area, that's obviously not quite complete. I was able to finally get some screenshots from a website from a friend of mine who works with a website. This kind of information is pretty hard to find actually if you're reviewing software solutions. So I was pretty excited I was able to get some stuff like that. So I'm going to be adding some more to that area as time goes on as well. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think obviously the audience was certainly reached. I do need to, at least it's set up for the audience. What I really need to do is get the audience. I suppose at this point, I need to actually get followers. The nice thing is that I have a friend who's involved in the Central Jersey Alliance for Student Affairs Professionals. So he has agreed to kind of help me out and push the website out to that group, um, which will hopefully get some followers. The other thing I may need to figure out right now, I only have the podcasts on this website. I think one thing I would like to see in the future is maybe a way to download them through iTunes if it gets a little bit of a following. Figuring out how to put them online so that you can just download them right to your smartphone rather than having to come to the website. Right now the only way to listen is to go to the website, listen through SoundCloud. You can just hit the play button, but it would be great if you could use one of the iPhone or Android clients that download podcasts automatically and then listen to it on the go if you're at the gym, in the car, whatever the case may be. I think that's kind of the next logical step for this. Um, Obviously, the other thing is need to get some more episodes out there. The nice thing is I said I was going to do, the goal was kind of one a month, and I'm already up to two, so I'm kind of ahead of the curve. And I have to get, I have that one more episode that I still need to edit. It's going to be a bit of a bear to edit, but I should have that done within the next week or so. So I'm really excited to kind of keep things going um, even after the class ends. Um, let's see. So for the audience, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's really at this point just trying to get the right people to actually get in there and listen and try to be a part of the the site. Let's see. Da-da-da. You know, part of what I need to figure out is a way to have my colleagues kind of share their best practices. And that would really be something where I need to get them involved in the site. So aside from after I get them listening, then I need to figure out a way to get people to want to be involved in the podcast as well. The interview I just did was great. I just did it last week with somebody from UMass Amherst, and the interview went really, really well. So I'm excited to try to get some more stuff like that happening. Maybe make some contacts, you know, a little bit better than I have been in the past, and really try to use those contacts and leverage them to see if they really want to be involved in the site. My ultimate goal would be to have this about page where I'm the only one listed, actually have more people listed and more people involved, and not just people who work at Rutgers, but people who work at other schools as well, who have been a part of the podcasts, who maybe can help host from afar now and again. Um, so that's kind of something I'd like to see further down the line, I guess. So yeah, again, the technological tool rationale, talking about the podcast, trying to do it when on the go or in the car. That's something I kind of have to figure out still. Um, the the hosting on WordPress has been great, and SoundCloud has been great. I just need to figure out another way to host it kind of through an easier platform, I guess. Um, let's see. As far as the timeline went, I think I think it went pretty well. I didn't go into this thinking that I was going to be completely finished by the end of the course, but I did say I would have the first podcast up and hosted by the end of March. I was certainly able to do that. And then by the end of April, I had the second podcast up. Um, so I do feel pretty good about that. I have some of the online or the social media aspect of well. I have a Twitter account going. Right now, I'm kind of torn between whether or not to keep the Twitter account that's sort of the pages Twitter account, if you will. So the Student Affairs Tech or SA Tech 404, as I call it. Um, I'm kind of torn between whether or not to keep that or if I should just use kind of my own personal Twitter handle and attach that to the page, um, which might honestly make a bit more sense. Just kind of turning my own personal Twitter account into more of a professional Twitter account. And then, I could be reached at benjamin.gelb@Rutgers, or you can follow me on Twitter, put the Twitter feed over here. So I think there's a couple different ways that could maybe be done. I'd really like to play with that a little bit, maybe figure out what the best practice is. I'm not really sure it makes sense to have a Student Affairs Technology Solutions Twitter handle when really, I want to get the folks the community that works with the site out there a little bit more. So I think I might switch that up a little bit. Um, anyway, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Um, I'm pretty excited about where it got. I'll be honest. I didn't think it would get anywhere near as good as it is now. This is something I've been wanting to do for a long time, so I'm pretty excited that it's kind of off the ground, and hopefully I can keep it going. The goal is definitely to not stop, but to kind of grow it even more and get more people involved. So anyway, hope you like it. Please check it out, studentaffairs.technologysolutions.com, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right, thanks so much.